Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
Well, good evening, Patriots. How you going, guys, out there? All right, a bit going on. We've got a bit of a special guest coming on tonight, and then we're going to do a special on this topic, guys, because this, again, is another, hot topic that has to be looked into, guys, and has to be made aware of because they are killing your environment, okay? So we're going to have a lady on tonight in a minute. That's going to talk to us for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Then we're going to do a special with her later in the week, and another lady will come in. We'll introduce her when we bring Sarah in. All right, and we're going to get the news out because you people in southeast Queensland, you really need to activate on this. All right, they're starting up there. They are going to continue to go. Obviously, there'll be other places they'll be doing this too. So it is game on, guys. All right, it is game on. They are just coming at us so hard. We just need to activate. More people are waking up. We've got some other stuff to tell you when we get into the news show tonight. Exciting stuff about our witness statement and one of our legends down here, Craig Vine. Look, there's just a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. So let's have a look at a little bit that's going on here because I have got a couple of things up here. So we've got the avian influenza detected at a fourth poultry farm in Victoria's knowledge. Now, I don't know, does this stuff just blow around on the wind, guys? Or, how does it get from one? These birds don't fly. You know what I mean? And we don't seem to have pigeons or, anything else like containing this thing. Just chickens. I wonder when the public will wake up, eh? Anyway, it's on. It is game on, as I said. Fires forests, push up greenhouse gas emissions from the war in Ukraine. So now the war in Ukraine, right, is to do with gas emissions, greenhouse gas emissions from the forest fires. Mate, what about... Anyway, I won't even go there because it's all a load of bullshit. Right, now listen to this. The Queensland government has vowed to recover unpaid hotel quarantine fees from the COVID-19 pandemic with more than 30 million still outstanding. So 255 million bills were issued to travellers returning to Queensland, turning Queenslanders who went into mandatory quarantine upon entering the state during the pandemic. So they made you do it, and now they're going to chase down 30 million guys. Are these guys off their guts or what? Like, this is just seriously freaking insane. We already proved to you it's all a load of bullshit. You know, you just aren't listening, and you're just going to have to listen. Oh, yeah, UN Guardian. UN General Assembly backs a resolution condemning Russia for the Ukraine war. Yeah, as I said, like last night, Erin Molan, you know, you need to wake up, darling. How about coming on this show and we'll give you a bit of an education, Erin? Or how about we find Erin Molan and just send her a link to the show, guys? That'd be a good idea. Someone would get right onto that, Daniel, wouldn't they? Anyway, absolute friggin' nightmare clown show this is. Here we go. More bullshit. The Yale doctor's cancer vaccine puts 9 patients into remission. I wouldn't believe a word of anything, guys. They are trying to build up their confidence because they're losing it day by day by day. All right. Wind farms to transform Western Australia grain belt into renewable energy corridor. No, it's about to frigging transform it into a useless piece of frigging stripped out land that will probably never be used for farming again. So that's what it's going to do. And then you've probably got lithium under it. You'll mine it, you know, whatever. You guys, I tell you. Geraldton Caravan Park's residents evicted amid a housing crisis. So now it's over in Gerald. They've, they've kicked off from the following up there in North Queensland, guys. Just going to kick people out in the street. Emergency landing, again, more planes. Atlanta after a haze fills the cabin. I haven't looked much into it, but again, this is all part of the grounding all the planes, guys. All right, all this sort of bullshit. And Albanese confident the US would come to Australia's defence in offensive attack. Well, Albanese, no one would come to you, mate, all right, because they just wouldn't. Would they come for the Australian people? They probably would, because they love us dearly over there in the States, but they don't love you, you muppet, okay? And no, he wouldn't have your back, all right? Yeah, come and tell us what the phone call was between you and Trump. That'd be good, Albanese. All right, so we've got a special guest. Let's bring her in, Sarah and Caz. And Sarah, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks.
Usual shit going on out there in the Matrix. But tell us quickly about your story, because we're going to do a show sometime this week and a special, and we'll do 45 to 50 minutes on it. But Sarah, what's going on up there where you live in this beautiful country of ours?
Yeah, well, I'm just a mom of 2 kids. I'm just trying to live my life quietly, peacefully. And then one Sunday morning in May last year, I wake up and these helicopters are swooping around the valley where I live. And we're all going, what on earth is going on here? And they're dropping pesticides all over the land. It was going into the waterways. I had a friend of mine film it. Yeah, do you want to see it? Yeah.
I know it is, darling. It is very serious and it's not good. So now they're over our property spraying. My husband is down the back. We have not consented. We've also sent emails to the aviation company to state that we do not consent to low-flying vehicles over our property. Yet here we are. They're now flying over the boundary. And our neighbours, they're within 150 metres of our neighbour's house, which was not supposed to be the case. And they've sprayed my land when I've explicitly said I do not consent. I have livestock, children. They're now spraying over the South Pine River. They've sprayed over the South Pine River now.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was like we were under attack. We were all just, the kids were frightened. They were looking at us. We were going, yeah, it was frightening. And then so my friend, we went down to the river where they did that, and we found all these corn grits, these pesticide corn grits, all in the river, all in the water. So we took water samples and got them off to an independent water tester. cost us residents $4,000 to get those water tests done, and it came back positive for this pyriproxyfen, which is a toxic chemical to aquatic life. It's highly toxic. It said it should never go into waterways, and the levels were alarmingly high. The guy who wrote the report said the levels were alarmingly high. It was a serious contamination event. So, we then had a meeting with the program a few days after that happened, and they actually said, "Oh, we're sorry, Sanford, our pilot made a mistake. He didn't realize there was a waterway there." And I just said, this is crazy. I mean, how many other waterways have they contaminated? They only admitted it because
how many pilots wouldn't? Yeah, Sarah, you might need to mute while someone else is talking. I don't know what's going on. We're trying to work it out in the background. But how many pilots wouldn't know by the geography that they are over a water system? The foliage tells you're looking down. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell where there's a river. Don't give us that. That's just bullshit. That's common sense.
Oh, I know. And I mean, the South Pine River is the main waterway through Sanford. It was Dawson Creek, actually, which was another creek in the valley that was heavily contaminated, more so than Dawson, than the South Pine River. But both of them were very high levels. And they apologized, and they said, "Oh, but we'll report ourselves to the regulator." I recently found out they got fined $20,000 for breaching the Environmental Protection Act. However, they then said, "You don't need to pay that fine, just do a study." So they're now paying themselves $20,000 to do a study on native ants in our valley that they should have done years ago, because I've since found out there are no environmental impact studies done to prove that what they're doing is safe. And yeah, it's incredible that they get away with it. If a mining company had done that, they would have been fined double that amount at least.
Whoops, you're going to have to mute that mic, darling. Sorry. Yeah, you don't see them flying over top of Albo's property, that's for sure, spraying out there, do they, on the big headland, making sure Albo's safe from fire ants. How about we make Albo safe from fire ants and go and spray his property? There's a good idea. They don't care about your cattle and your livestock, and we know what it's doing. I've already had these results given to me, of different people. We know exactly what it's doing, and we thank you for bringing it to the public's eye, Sarah, all right, and getting it out there and advocating, and the rest of your community that's standing up. So, listen, you need to get together in southeast Queensland or wherever this is happening, guys, all right, in your communities, if you know of it, and obviously you're going to know. All right, so we need to spread the word. We need to get it out there, and you need to come together, all right, and start and work out where the helicopters are, where they're landing at, who's actually got them, you know what I mean, who's paying them, who's flying them, and start and make this. We've got to make this personal, guys. We've got to find out who these people are. We are in a war for our lives, all right. They are trying to poison you every day, all right, and the only way we can stop them is by exposing them and public peer pressure at this present time. That is it.
Yeah, yes, I mean, I've since found out that this program is trying to supposedly eradicate fire ants, but we don't even have fire ants in Sanford. I've never seen one. I've barely heard of them, and I've been here 25 years, and now suddenly we're being doused in chemicals for fire ants that may be in a suburb, 10, 20 miles away or kilometers away. And I've done a lot of research. I'm a chartered accountant. I looked at the numbers. I thought, where's the money in all this? This program has spent $1.6 billion in the last 23 years to eradicate fire ants. And the ants are actually 20 times worse than they were 20 years ago. So
1.6 billion.
Yeah, they're not eradicating anything. And all of that money comes from the Commonwealth and the other states. So Queensland gets to run this complete joke of a show, and they only pay 10%. So all that money comes in, but they only get the money if they call it eradication.
And someone's just linked the two and put the comment together, and you're exactly, oh, no, sorry, wrong one. The one above that I'm looking for. Here it is. Similar to the bee issue, guys, exactly right. It's all by design. All right. This is part of what they are doing. All right. So for any new viewers out there, we are letting you know. okay, that the government, right, loves you to death, and they are going to keep loving you until you find death. That is their objective. But the death is in you. The death is in everything around you that nature needs to support you, to keep you alive. And as horrible as it sounds, that's what's going on. And we're copping it from all angles. So, yeah, Caz?
It's incredible. No, I was just going to make the comment that it's just so incredible that they're such environmental vandals, and yet they pontificated us about green energy and all that sort of rubbish they rabbit on about.
Rubbish. Yep.
Well,
Okay.
This is all about property rights to me. This is, they're taking away our rights to sanctity in our own homes because this is mandated. We have no choice. Not even like with COVID, you can say, oh, well, if you don't do it, we'll punish you in some way. They are sending police to our doors with holding their tasers, threatening people with $16,000 fines, breaking people's gates, padlocks, jumping 6-foot fences. They did in Beachmont on Valentine's Day, a whole bunch of biosecurity officers and the police showed up. They jumped a load of fences. They went and did properties. There were women crying. There were children screaming. It was just absolutely a huge human rights violation, I think. And yet, they can get away with this under the Biosecurity Act because our lawyer, Peter Pham, the human rights lawyer, said this Biosecurity Act is so tightly written that, it takes away all our rights.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, it's going to be an interesting show on who's your friend that you've got coming on with you on Sarah, whether we get that organised for Thursday night. At this present time, we're saying Thursday night, guys, right as a temp, but 8 p.m, a special show. So who's coming on with you, Sarah? And look forward to seeing you back then, darling.
Yeah, Dr. Connie Turney. She's a scientist, researcher for University of Queensland, and she's heavily researched the fire ant debacle, and she says it's just crazy. It's damaging our environment hugely, and she's got all the facts and figures on that.
Okay. Well, look, thank you very, very much again, Sarah. Without people like yourself coming to the attention of people like ourselves, me and Caz and my wife, Mel, in the little media team here, people don't know about it or don't know the emphasis that we need to put on it because they are taking out our micro and our macro. And if we haven't got micro and macro, dude, we got nothing, okay? Because that's how God made this place to work, all right? And what they are doing is reaping down God's creation, all right? And they are well on the way to doing it in certain areas. So, again, we thank you, Sarah. We'll see you again on Thursday night. I'll talk to you in the meantime. But, just want to say thank you from Australia for bringing a light to this issue.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, see you soon.
All right, cheers. Bye.
Bye. Well, turning up with cops and saying to the people, are you going to be aggressive? And the people are going, no. And they go, okay, you can cut the locks. So now if the people step in, right, and say, piss off, you're not cutting me locks. Oh, they're being aggressive. They'll arrest them. This is what they're doing to them up there, people, to get onto their properties, right? We'll talk about it on Thursday night, but it is absolutely, it is just crazy. It is crazy. This is Australia.
Yeah, no, I know. It's outrageous behaviour. They're so tyrannical. Anyway, look, we've got heaps of news going on. Look, let's have a look at this. The lithium batteries that have been going on in the Alpine Shower. Now, we advertised yesterday that they are having a meeting. This is it. Good work, guys. Good work.
Good
job. And there's Wade, he spoke. So no lithium batteries to save the Kiwa Valley. Good work, guys. Oh, pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah. Courage is the cure. I've heard about it. I haven't got to look at your page yet, but another great page I've heard, guys. So if you can go and follow that in Western Australia, I'm sure they'll keep you updated with everything that's going on in your state. Yeah, I've heard a very good channel there, guys.
So, guys, good work. Good
Well
work.
done.
And I'm sure that Chick, when she gets a chance, will put together a report for us so that we can just have an update on what was actually going on there. So that was awesome. All right, Craig Vine, local legend.
Want me to introduce
this
this or what? Or
You
you
do
want to
that.
just go with it? No, you want to just go with the film clip and then I'll talk on it? Okay, go with
All
the film clip.
He's going. Behind me is Wollongong Police Station. I've just gone to get this here. Right, there's no event number there, but this is for the investigation into the witness statement documentary, alleged crimes against humanity and injuries, deaths. Went and spoke to 2 people inside that building behind me who were almost flabbergasted at what I was saying. They just literally wiped their hands of it. They did help me by giving me that ticket that I just showed you, but it's just the number to contact the AFP. Now apparently it has been lodged through AFP, the witness statement, alleged victims and deaths. It's for investigation. That's what the 2 police officers told me just inside just now. Now, I pleaded with them to try and give me that event number. They won't give it to me. In fact, the lady officer said it's above her pay grade. Above her pay grade to give me the event number. Basically didn't have access to it or something like that. Yeah, so they're literally saying, well, that's why they gave me the number, the AFP number, to contact the AFP to possibly get the event number. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's for the witness statement full documentary investigation into the COVID deaths and injuries from the vaccines, COVID-19 vaccine injuries. For those who haven't seen the video yet, the documentary, please go and do it. I did actually manage to get the first officer that I spoke to inside. I got him to actually bring it up on the computer. Says he wasn't aware of it, but he's now aware of it. So, and then he went and got the other officer out who was aware of it. So, and told me that there is an event number for it, but I can't. She won't give me that event number because it's above her pay grade. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to this is kind of like proof that I've gone and spoken to them. I'll just show you the ticket again that I got from them. There's not a great deal of information on there, but at least they gave me the number, and I just tried to specify that there's a lot of people are going to start doing exactly what I'm doing now, and that it's actually circulating quite rapidly, and that something that will need to be done for it, and that it can't be ignored or pushed aside for too much longer. So anyway, people, have a look at that. Please look at the video that I'm talking about. It's on Rumble, it's on BitChute, it's on YouTube. Witness statement documentary. You have to write full next to it now because it's actually becoming very hard to find. So Australian witness statement documentary full on YouTube or Rumble or BitChute. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Here's the ticket.
All right. So now that was what Craig done, and then Craig and I had a phone call just after that, and we've gone, okay, we'll ring up the AFP. So I've got on the phone to the AFP. Mel's dialed the number that Craig was given, and actually some interesting topics on there now, guys, on the AFP phone line, on the wait line. Wish I tell you. And anyway, we go through to what we end up finding out at the end of the call, right? And for legal reasons, I can't do too much but except tell you what was on the call, right? But I told them that I was looking for an event number that Wollongong Police Station and a particular cool. That's good, chick. So that a particular police lady that we'd named down there had said that the event number had been given. It was above her pay grade. We needed to ring the AFP, and I relayed this information. Now, what I got back was that, oh, well, no, we wouldn't do that. I said, hang on, but there's a crime being committed. I've given you the information. Yeah, but it's a crime that we wouldn't look into.
It's not a Commonwealth
crime.
It's
not a Commonwealth crime. And I've gone, well, if it's not a Commonwealth crime, it is a crime. So who would look into it? Oh, well, I can't tell you that. And then she's gone, I'm not a police officer. So then I've asked for a police officer. And then she's gone, well, no, there's no one here that can help you. Now, this is a police, Sydney Police AF or the AFP's head office, all right? And the chick on the reception is telling them there's no one there that can help me with a crime. So more or less backwards and forwards, I said, well, hang on, you're the police are telling me to come to you. Now you're telling me the police don't know what they're talking about. So very, very interesting, guys. So Cazzy, your thoughts after, we made that phone call and you were there as we made it,
Yeah, well, look, I think the thing is that there's a couple of things. They do bump things up the line so that they can be covered up. But also, I think that there's two key things that I've noticed over the last couple of days. First of all, Steve Pachinik. Steve Pachinik is not somebody to be sneezed at. Steve Pachinik is the spy master. He was the one that went in and he brought down Russia. He brought down the wall. That's admitted. He very instrumental. He never worked for the CIA. He contracted the CIA. Okay, so and he always did it for nothing because he was so grateful. He was a Cuban Jew. He was so grateful to America for being America and basically for saving him that he wanted to do it. He's also admittedly the character Jack Ryan in Tom Clancy's novels is also the Tom Clancy's ghostwriter, gave him all of the information with which to write the story. So he's nobody to be sneezed at. He gave out a key bit of information. He said the old the old CIA as opposed to the new CIA. Okay, now looking at the body language on what was his name? Head of ATO, Burgess. Okay, the other day. Yep. He to me seemed very relieved. He seemed like he was really relieved, like a breath of fresh air, like, oh, I don't actually have to, I can actually do my job. I'm allowed to actually do my job properly. So what I'm thinking is I'm wondering if some of these organisations haven't been cleaned up and if they're actually starting to do their jobs. Well, but then again, in the past, they have bumped it up the line so that they can bury it.
And then, as I said last night, Kaz, you can't expect these guys to have come in for 2 days like Kash Patel, and then all of a sudden, 2 days, he's got this big investigation open. He's come up with all these names and things that no. It doesn't happen like that. It's already been done. And we would suggest that the same has already been done here, and we're starting to see the ramifications of it, guys. That's what I believe.
Now, what we can do is we can do this. I'm going to put this into the chat. Okay, and I urge everybody to go to the AFP and fill out the Freedom of Information Act request and request the event number for the information that has been submitted which is according to the witness statement. So, guys, I've half filled it out. I haven't finished filling it out yet, but I will do after the show.
Actually, and I've just got to make a correction. That will be Friday night, that special on the fire ants, because Thursday night we have a special update on the witness statement. Sorry, I've got that round the wrong way, guys. All right, Thursday night will be an update on the witness statement special, and on Friday night I'll do a special on the fire ants. And I might even get Carl in on the special on Friday night because he's up that end of town. So, yeah, we'll do that.
All right. So, look, there's heaps of stuff that's going on, and one of the things is the building industry. And this guy, Shall, we've had him on the show before, but just check this out.
How unproductive the building industry is. Stick with me as I break down the Productivity Commission's latest 104-page report and tell you how bad it is.
We know that housing affordability is a big concern for many Australians.
It's a concern if you're homeless. If you own property, you're getting fucking rich.
Dwelling construction productivity has been in the doldrums for at least 30 years. That means we get about half as much house per hour worked than we did 3 decades ago.
Half the house for twice the price.
Even after we adjust for the fact that our houses are bigger and better quality.
Better quality, many of you would say that's debatable.
Construction productivity is 12% lower now. Many other countries share Australia's housing productivity woes.
Many other countries share Australia's productivity woes because they've done the same fucking dumb things that we have. Actually, we followed most of their dumb things and created a dumb situation.
So why is productivity in housing construction going backwards?
The building industry 30 years ago was low-hanging fruit for rent seekers and grifters who saw an opportunity for them to get their clutches into the dollars and try and create layers of bureaucracy to sever their own nests.
Housing construction is complicated.
It's actually not, and it doesn't have to be, but they make it that way. So let's break down the reasons why they call it complicated.
Including complex and slow approvals, lack of innovation, the small scale of most construction companies, and workforce issues, including the ability to attract and retain some types of workers.
And every single one of those problems was created by government. I mean, let's talk about the complexity of rules and regulations. I'm wearing an 18-kilo weighted vest today, which means that walking on this treadmill is way harder than it should be. I could take this vest off, I'd be able to walk twice as fast. The report also references the size of building companies, that they're too small to be able to manage anything at scale. The reason they're too small is because the government doesn't allow them to get bigger without more complexity and rules and regulations. But if you want to incentivise a building company to get bigger, make the apprentices cheaper, make the labour easier to attract, and then get rid of fucking payroll tax.
From our research, we identified 4 priorities for governments.
And you watch the mega corporate interests here swoop in to try and solve the crisis.
First, developing more streamlined and better coordinated planning approvals.
$22,000 infrastructure charge to put a granny flat in the backyard of your house in Logan Council in Queensland.
Making sure that those that have to make the decisions, including local councils, have enough resources to do so.
Resources means rates. They're going to have to jack the rates so they've got the resources.
Second, undertaking an independent review of building regulations with a focus on the National Construction Code.
This part will absolutely blow your mind.
The code has never been comprehensively reviewed, and aspects of its operation are likely making the cost of building higher than it should be.
The National Construction Code has never been reviewed. Productivity was never taken into consideration. They implemented the National Construction Code in full in every state, caveat with some conditions, without understanding what it would do to productivity and the deliverability of a house. Think about that.
Third, improving workforce mobility and flexibility through national consistency and occupational licensing.
You thought tradies were bad now. Wait until they let in 500,000 carpenters from the subcontinent and then instantly qualify them to Australian standards.
And fourth, removing impediments to innovation and investing in it.
The only innovation you're going to see will be multi-unit high-rise dog boxes on train lines built by mega corporations so that they own the housing, they can switch you on and switch you off.
Through encouraging new building techniques such as modular building.
Modular high-rises.
These reforms can help Australian governments meet their commitment to build 1.2 million homes over 5 years.
Can we fix it? No, it's pretty fucked. It's pretty fucked. If you didn't get that impression from that video, I don't know what will do it.
Yeah, well done, Scotty, and we are pretty fucked, actually. We had a little bit of strife, but we got to get our way out of it, guys. This is a beautiful country. It once was a beautiful country. It still is, topographically, a beautiful country. All right, but I tell you what, these guys are going to ruin it. All right, we're going to ruin it.
Well, in my opinion, they are nation destroyers.
Yeah.
So, you know, and look, we're going to go into the whole thing about the voting or the non-voting in the next couple of days. We're just sorting some stuff out at the moment.
Yeah.
So, all right, look, let's now. Tony Burke did a great big thing where he got 12,500 people and he gave them citizenship. Okay, he didn't invite the senator who was actually there that should have been invited. No, he just surrounded them. He surrounded them with AEC electoral roll commissions and Labor members.
Nothing to see here, folks.
They're suggesting that he did invite you to attend that that major citizenship ceremony over the weekend.
Can I say, Kieran, look, for me, that is a real disappointment. I actually really looked up to, as somebody who's new to politics, I really looked up to ministers, and Tony Burke. And I think, and that's why I really did a post last night, because I was so furious that he made that claim in a blatant lie to say that the invitation was sent to me. I received no such invitation. Certainly there was an invitation to the Mayor of Fairfield, Frank Carboni. It was an official invitation to the Mayor. I received no such official invitation. Now, it was reported in a Telegraph that he verbally invited me at a citizenship ceremony that I was invited to in Liverpool. No verbal invitation either. That day, all he said was he said to me, I'm doing all of these citizenship ceremonies over the next coming 2 weeks. Innocent me thinking, oh, wonderful, okay. I thought that's great, the minister's coming. And I was surprised because in all the years that I have been here attending ceremonies, at citizenship ceremonies in our area, in Liverpool, and in the last 3 years as a member, no minister has ever attended. No minister has ever attended. Can I actually read to you the...
We'll just leave it there. I can smell something dodgy going on, guys, and we already exposed it, all right?
That's it. Look, that's it. But look, the thing is that we've got lots of really interesting things happening at the moment, like especially with what's going overseas. Let's just jump to this. Now, this is actually a report which is confirming what we knew, and that is that the CIA was involved in the defrauding of the Brazilian president. Okay, so yeah, that's why Lula got in, but it's actually admitted here by WikiLeaks.
What really is taking place in Brazil, the powers
Bolsonaro
behind it. And
was
I think
cheated.
even when you were with Joe,
we
on
didn't know it,
Joe's,
did
you
we?
explained the fact that they went to tell him, Bolsonaro, I'll let you tell the story. What is the exchange with how the U.S. was involved with the elections in Brazil?
Well, are you referring to, when you say they went to tell Bolsonaro? You're referring to the CIA director,
Yes.
Lloyd Austin?
Yes.
I actually can pull that up on screen if you go to the
Good old
the,
CIA,
slide deck.
Mossad.
It'll be slides starting on slide 12. I can walk you through that.
Go for it, Rob, if you can go through that right there.
So this is the U.S. State Department. Yeah, if you can
Go to the
full
slideshow.
screen
Just
it,
press
or-
view slideshow. There you go.
Mhm. So, and we'll go through this line by line here, but the U.S. State Department called in massive favors and leveraged personal connections to build voting machines for Lula-aligned Brazil officials, and then the CIA warned Bolsonaro not to mess with or cast doubt on all the new U.S. State Department secured voting machines determining his election.
So that goes on. That'll be up on the website. That's
That's on
particularly
the
good to go on. Yeah, sorry, I got it confused because we've also got it's WikiLeaks have done the LBMA. Now, there's been a number of people reporting for years that they've been messing with the LBMA, which is the pricing index for gold and silver. And I was listening to Gerald Salante this morning, and he was talking about if the gold vault is full, which it probably could be because they could put the gold in that they got back from the thing. Yeah, but no, actually, I think it might be full. Okay, and I'll show you why. Listen to this.
WikiLeaks, and you might think, what are you going on about? Well, as a lot of you know, the gold ownership was banned in 1933 by FDR, Executive Order 6102, and then on January 1st, 1975, it was made legal again. And there was a London wholesale gold dealers' view on U.S. gold sale and private U.S. ownership. So this was like communication between, the U.S. Treasury and the bullion market in London about what to do. Because did you know that the gold contract on COMEX, GC started trading on 31st of December 1974, because the settlement would be on the 1st of December and would be legal. And these people are talking about how they can keep the public in the U.S. Disinterested in acquiring physical gold because, they didn't want them to be too involved. So the U.S. Treasury was in contact with well, it wasn't called LBMA back then, but it was the bullion market. And this is really interesting, Eric and Clive. This is what it says here. To the dealers, and the dealers are in London, expectations will be the formation of a sizable gold futures market. Each of the dealers expressed the belief that the futures market would be of significant proportion and physical trading would be minuscule by comparison. Also expressed was the expectation that large volume futures dealing would create a highly volatile market. In turn, the volatile price movements would diminish the initial demand for physical holding and most likely negate long-term hoarding by U.S. citizens. So you can see that for 50 years, the COMEX and the London bullion market, they've been conspiring to keep U.S. citizens from hoarding gold. And
hoarding gold. Now, what's really interesting about that is that Gerald Salente has said in his analysis, if it's full, he goes, well, actually, he goes, it's way underpriced and it should be, to get them out of their debt, Trump will open it and go, oh, hell, we got so much gold here, we should properly value it. And then it would go up to $5,000 an ounce. That would be $5,000 an ounce. So, interesting take on it.
Okay, well, let's play it out and see what happens. I don't think there's going to be much there.
All right, and just do other quick things. We have this. Douglas McGregor, General Douglas McGregor, is reporting that rumours are now emerging that several generals have been caught shredding documents at the FBI raids, the homes of several officers. And Alex Jones even did a 3 a.m. report on it.
Day night, and things are moving very, very fast as we enter the 36th day of the new Trump administration. And Garrett O'Boyle, a very credible, famous FBI whistleblower, has gone public through Michael Schellenberger. It's already trending the last 30 minutes at the top of X with what we expected is happening. The FBI is engaged in massive document destruction, hard drive destruction of the huge Jeffrey Epstein file that goes into the CIA, Mossad, MI6, and the massive human trafficking of children, all sorts of bizarre genetic experiments at Zorro Ranch. I mean, it's way worse than even what you've heard. Obviously, I first broke this story almost 20 years ago.
All right, but we've also got some good news, and on that, we have got that Spetsnaz is reporting that the UN Security Council voted on a swift end to the conflict in Ukraine and urged a lasting peace between Ukraine and Russian Federation. Now, those who abstained, I think that is the French flag, if I'm not mistaken. And guess where Macron was today?
Yeah, at the White House.
Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. So now, just one last little thing, because it's very, very funny. All right, and that is this. Babylon B have hit it out of the park again. Trump fired for forgetting to reply to Elon's email.
Look, I think the two of them and their little crew are doing a pretty good job at the moment of what they're meant to do. Okay, this is biblical, guys. All right, the swamp, has been getting drained for a long time, but what's been going on, guys, is in the background. All the shit's being pulled out the drain so we can actually let the swamp flow. Okay, and we're starting to watch some really insane sort of stuff go down. Okay, so hang on tight, but we've got a bigger problem here in Australia, guys, and that is that they are coming at you very, very hard in all different facets, okay? So I'm sure that we have got a guest on tomorrow night also to do with judiciary and courts. Thursday night, we will have a follow-up to witness statement. In the meantime, I would suggest you start maybe contacting the AFP, sending them the witness statement, your police station, whatever. It's all there for you guys, all right? And you've just seen today what's going on. Someone's admitted, okay? And believe me, Craig's not lying to you there, right? They admitted, all right, that there was supposedly an event number. Not supposedly, there was an event number, but it was above her pay grade. Well, what's going on? All right, so this is your little thing that was done for you people, okay? This is your little gig, right, that Helen done for you people. So there it is. It's out there. Supposedly there's an event number. I need you to go and find it. Thank you very much, people. Have a great evening.
All right, we're being taken out by Jag Talks, and this is their Anzac tribute.
I was just a lad with dreams in my head. From the outback to the city, we all left our bed. They called us Anzacs, a legend to be. But we were just men with the world to see. We were ordinary men answering the call. From the fields to the trenches, some gave all, fighting for freedom under the Southern Cross. Some of us never made it back. Some were forever lost. There were cattlemen, bankers, and builders too. Side by side we had a job to do. Not for glory, and not for the fame, but for freedom and the Anzac name. In the name of freedom, we went out to fight. Underneath the sky, in the dead of night. But the game was deadly, the stakes were high. We never wavered, we watched our brothers die. We were ordinary men answering the call. From the fields to the trenches, some gave all, fighting for freedom under the Southern Cross. Some of us never made it back. Some were forever lost. I saw the fields where heroes fell, heard the cries, the toll of the bell. Wounded and crippled were sent back home. But some of us in those fields, as ghosts they roam. The legend of Anzac, it's born in us all. It's the spirit of Australia to answer the call. So when you feel